Along, civic groups, 6,721 Nigerians sue the Nigerian Senate over plans to spend 5.5 billion naira on luxury cars. Over 6,721 concerned Nigerians, as well as the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, Budge It and Enough is Enough, have sued the National Assembly to stop it from spending 5.5 billion naira to buy luxury cars for its principal officials. The case, which has been filed at the Federal High Court in Lagos, seeks to restrain, prevent and stop the National Assembly Service Commission from paying or releasing the sum of 5.5 billion budgeted for purchase of luxury cars for members of the 9th Senate, and to restrain and stop the Senate from collecting the money until the downward review of the amount proposed by the Senate. Okay, now it is a longish script, but we get the drift. Yeah. Now, I want to ask, like every Nigerian want to ask, why are we spending so much money to buy cars? What is the economic value and the contribution of these cars really to the growth of the Nigerian economy? Who's jumping in first?
Let me say here now, Akogo is one of the people I'm going to address this to, because it is very simple. Do you know, it's because this civil society decided to go to court. Have you seen Ulogbalu on the social media? No. Do you know why? Because it's not the Saraki that is the Senate president. If it was Saraki that is Senate president,
you mean on this issue?
On this issue,
okay.
On this issue, that you would have seen the commoner trying to make Mr. Senate president looks like a tomboy. Make Mr. Senate president look like he's actually fighting against the president.
I want to get your point.
My point is that, listen, my point is that because these guys are the presidency's guys, and that's why people are not talking about it. Now, all of these guys, I know that every single senator in the Senate has one or more than one cars. Some of them are coming back. That means they got cars in the last 4 years.
Exactly.
So what are you looking for?
What happened to the cars from the 8th Senate? I mean,
what happened to the car? Why do you always, every year, that's how our budget is structured. Our budget is structured that every year in this studio, if we need to replace computer, even if those computers are not bad, you still budget it. It is 10 computer every single budgetary allocation.
And furniture.
And furniture. So why do you need that? And that is why we are saying that, look, it is high time Nigerians should decide who they send to National Assembly, not only National Assembly, even at the executive level. Because some of these things are things that I still remember. I said in this program that when my father graduated from University of Nigeria and came back, the first thing they asked him was to become a councillor. He said he cannot become a councillor. They begged him, and he handed that position to his father, who was like the village head. Do you understand?
Okay.
And my grandfather became a councillor who did not earn a kobo, but worked more than all the councillors who are building houses in my place and buying big cars and marrying two wives that cannot do.
All right, Mr. Shopito, members of the National Assembly, they're just a tiny percentage of the 200 million, Nigerians. So why are we budgeting such an exorbitant amount for cars when the larger populace of Nigerians are suffering?
That is the question. In fact, I am disappointed that the NLC had been talking about these 30,000. These are things they should be. The civil society organizations, the NLC, and these people have now taken the Senate to court. That's what all of us should be really fighting about. Why in a country like this should a single senator take home 15 million every month?
13.5.
When there's that family here that cannot...
I think he rounded up the figure. Go ahead.
That cannot even afford a meal. So, we should... I think they should start from scrapping this rap mark that allocates all this. And then, in any case, what happened to the vehicles that the people in the 8th
from the 8th Senate
they were not official vehicles? Even if you sold them,
just after finish, they will just take the vehicle home. So those vehicles are meant for
well, so those are the things we need to really...
we have to look at the historical perspective.
No, there's also... I haven't finished with this. Let us now... He talked about councillors in those days being In this same Nigeria, during the First Republic, legislators were part-time. Well, yeah, they are part-time now anyway. But they were only receiving sitting allowance. They were not on any salary. And that's why these people will kill in order to get to these offices. The easiest way to make money in Nigeria today is to be in politics. So that's what all of us should now
to be in office. I know a lot of politicians who are extremely poor. To be in office.
Okay, but let's not lose grasp of what we're discussing.
Let us be look. All this humongous pay that these people receive is unjustifiable in an economy like Nigeria's. And this is the same country where we had legislators who were only on allowances. So let us revert to that.
All right, Afogo, how do you react to this?
Well, normally they will say that a man made laws, and then laws are made for men.
Well,
in 1999, I think around early 2000, it was Obasanjo's administration that put us in this mess.
yes, he started this rap market.
Because the salary of a councillor was increased by 1,000%. So suddenly, a local government chairman started earning more than a university professor, under the mistaken belief that if you give them more money, they will not be tempted to see. Meanwhile, stealing is inherent in some people. It doesn't matter whether they own it or not, they will still steal it. And therefore, once Obasanjo now, who now sold the official quarters and now monetized everything. It's monetization that now became this humongous element that people are talking about. I think while it's not illegal for the Senate to buy cars, it is highly immoral, especially in this situation where things are extremely bad.
Exactly. Our economic situation is
you have to lead by example. You have to show that you're also feeling the pinch. You are not a separate country, isolated from the reality of the environment. They keep creating that impression that they are above the rest of us. No, they call them public servants. You are servants of the people. You are to aggregate our affairs and our needs to the center and make laws to befit us.
You are like a representation of the Nigerian people. Aside from the moral issue, the morality thing in all of this, they took an oath of office, promising to perform their functions in the interest and well-being of every Nigerian.
What is that function?
To ensure there's prosperity of Nigerians. Yeah. How does buying 5.5 billion naira worth of cars make Nigerians prosper?
My problem is that this Senate has not even sit down for one day and mentioned the non-implementation of the so-called minimum wage since it was passed hurriedly by this administration to win sympathy, to win re-elections. See, some of these things, let us begin to put it where it belongs. One day, the federal government, the executive government wake up and say that we are going to begin to send local government money directly to local government costs. Now, this money, this money that the so-called the Senate is going to use to buy car, it's coming from federal government. Because they are the one that disburse the money. It's coming from them. So why has the federal government not make any statement and say, look, the country is in dire need of fund? A court in the UK has asked us to pay $9 billion.
Dollars.
$9 billion. How are we going to raise it? And some people, some guys who call themselves lawmakers, because I have not seen any law that they've made that is impacting in all of us, that they want to buy cars for 5.5 billion naira. Now, if you appropriate 1.5 billion naira to buy car, there is wardrobe allowance, there is furniture allowance, there is all the new senators that have moved to Abuja now. They must give them money to get houses. And I am here struggling with my rent. And I'm here unable to get salary. For those who are working, some companies are owing salary because of bad economy. So if you inject that 5.5 billion naira into the economy, are we not going to be better off? Or why don't you say this money, why can't this Senate do something noble to say 5.5 million naira Labour come? What we are going to do first is that we are going to give you this money to implement first and foremost
the minimum wage.
And do something noble for yourself.
Okay, let's look at how viewers are reacting. The best place to be is where you have freedom. If Nigeria is good, do we need to travel to another African country for survival? Yes. The Nigerian in diaspora should come home to fight the bad governance together. They found it difficult to pay 30K minimum wage, but proposed to buy cars worth 5.5 billion naira. #revolution now. Okay, let's move it along. This other one says the only language this government understands is Ruga and anything that benefits cow or herdsmen, while its citizens have become endangered species across Africa. I came from Ogba. Thank you for sending that one in. All right, Charles Oyenuche, one of us here, is reacting, says, sadly, the generation of South Africans causing this malaise were unborn during the apartheid era and are oblivious to the support given to their parents by the parents of Nigerians in South Africa, whom they vehemently attack today. It's a sad occurrence and points to the supreme failings of successive Nigerian governments. With the human and sundry resources we are blessed with, no Nigerian has any business abroad except holidaying. Charles, thank you, Charles from Lekki, for sending that one in. And to those who are still calling the line, please don't call.
Charles made a very valid point there.
Very valid point.
And for some of those that says, what are Nigerians doing? No, don't forget, as good as America is, as good as the UK is, their citizens are in Nigeria.
Of course, well said.